oh man, oh man. What's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Albert Santucci, and we are here at the shop. I'm making the hook section for, well, actually, no. This is the mono section for my 4-foot shark casting leaders. And then I got the mono section for my bull red leaders over here. I totally forgot to put that in the description, but at the same time, too, it really doesn't give me a whole lot of room to write a long description. But at the same time, too, longer descriptions don't get you a whole lot of views, you know? Let's see. Get the channel going. What's up, Caleb? How you doing, boss? Let's see. Yeah, let's see. All right. Get some feedback on some videos that I posted, the video shorts, especially of the ducks up there. I'm telling you guys, I have fished that pier good probably 8 to 10 years, and I've never seen that many ducks do what they did. I don't know if y'all saw the video short or not, but that was insane. I've never seen that in my life. And like they came from the south, came all the way around us, keep going. They came from the north, went to the west, and then they turned left and went south, and then they went right back to the north. Like they made this huge circle around us, which was it was interesting, needless to say. But I'm not a hunter or a duck person, so I couldn't tell you in any way, shape, or form, like, hey man, this is why they're doing it or anything other than, hey man, check this out. So, yep. Let's see, let's get the. Ooh. Excuse me. And also, too, just a heads up, this was literally the last chance I was going to give the video because it already had gone 3 times. Well, this was my 3rd one. This would have been my strike 3 of being able to go live on the channel, but it keeps turning the video sideways, so I wouldn't have been able to do it. So, yep, but we're here now, so see what's up. We got Dave, Daniel Garcia, and Curtis. What's up, boss? How you doing? Caleb, Leonard. What's up, bub? Craig, how you doing? John Duley in the house as well. What's up, gents? How was y'all's weekend? Who got to go fishing? What are some fishing stories, man? Let me know. I went this weekend and did not. I tried actually several different spots when we went, and it was not. We didn't turn a click, basically. Yep, Bob Hall Pier is opening on the 24th. They're gonna do like X amount of days where they're not gonna charge. I think it's like a couple of months. They're gonna give. That they're not going to charge anybody to get on the pier. So, yeah. So. Curtis, let me see how much store credit y'all have on here. I have you down for $200, Curtis. 90 days free, so that's 3 months. Wow. Dang, that's gonna be a good chunk of time to be able to get out there and work on it for sure. So yeah. So I talked to a few guys that went out there and they tore it up. And I actually followed them out to a spot where they had been tearing it up, and we were out there for about an hour. Nothing happened, so I ended up leaving there because we were battling a lot of seaweed. Went to another spot and in the inner packery where we had been hitting a bunch of slot reds. Not a bunch, but we caught a few slot reds. I caught some sheephead, caught some speck and black drum, and a bunch of rat reds there too. But it didn't work out. Just a bunch of piggy perch. There was a ton of piggy perch, and they weren't little ones either. Big old piggy perches. I almost was like, man, we could. If I really needed to feed myself, we could, But I'd rather not have to fillet a whole bunch of little fish. So, I will use. Roger that, Curtis. Go ahead and move that over. Got it. Save. All right, boss. I moved it over, and I'm gonna put on here that you donated it. Though I'm pretty sure he knows. Roger that, boss. I got you. Let's see. I went fishing for rainbow trout and got skunked. We actually, oh my gosh, I had a rough morning Sunday. My beagle, my full-blooded beagle, has made friends with the neighborhood mutt. This dog is an old dog, and I felt sorry for the dog, but at the same time, full of fleas and ticks and all of that. And he's my dog's best friend. And it's like they were sitting there yapping and barking at everything that happened. If a roach went by, they were barking. And like, God, I didn't get no sleep. So finally, I had enough, and I went out there and shoot the dog away and and so I figured the dog would go away, and about 30 minutes later, it came right back. And so I moved my dog against the fence, away from the front fence to the back fence to see if that would work. Well, he got upset because now he's secured, which normally we don't secure Buddy. He free roams pretty much all the time in our yard. And so for about 2 hours, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I was really not having it. So I said, I'm going to go fishing because if not, something bad's going to happen to that dog and I'm going to feel bad. So I left, went fishing, took me and the wife, and went out trying to catch some fish because she actually wanted to do some fish in her deep fryer, not her deep fryer, our air fryer. And they just were not cooperating. God, it sucked. I was like, come on, man. I bought live bait, which I normally don't do. I'm a dead bait person and stuff like that. And I was trying all these areas to fish in the channels and stuff like that. And they weren't cooperating, not just for me, like everybody. It was kind of dead. But it was also early in the morning, so it may have picked up later on that afternoon. I don't know. But between 5 in the morning till, no, about 5:45 till about 8, no, 9, right about 9 when we finally gave up. Yeah, we did. Whole bunch of bait fish and stuff like that. So, right, John? There you go. So, yeah. Oh, man. What's up, Oscar? How you doing? And roger that. Yep. So, yeah. No, we've got a few people that have already sent funds for the fire drawing tonight through the through Zelle. Saw some notifications, or it may have been a single notification. I saw something earlier. Let me see where we're at. Yeah, Daniel Garcia sent 20 for tonight's fire drawing. And we'll get the paperwork started on that. I wanted to go live earlier, like way earlier today, and it just, I don't know what's going on. It's real weird out around here, stuff like that. So got Rafael Galvan for 20. Galvan, 20. Got Daniel Garcia for 20. And has anybody seen or heard from Jacked Up Leatherworks? I called him the other day just to check on him because I hadn't heard or seen anything from him in a few days and stuff like that. So just wanted to see if anybody else has seen him post up or anything, which is because I know they've had some crazy weather up in his area. So, just make sure they're all right at least. Yep, get it rolling. Joe G, what's up, guys? How you doing? Over here putting on the 250-pound swivels on my 250-pound mono. I got all this whole section over here to do. I got probably 650 of the 250 pounders right here in front of me, but I've also got a tray up there. It's probably got about 800 swivels in it, so I'm good. That's what's got me worried. I'll shoot him a text real quick again, just to see if everything's all right. Oh man, let's see. Joseph Myers, cough. Right on. Yeah, I don't know, but I am worried, So if you see him post up and I haven't let y'all know that I've talked to him or whatever, let him know. How's the weather been out your way, Curtis? I know y'all also deal with a bunch of crazy weather during this time period as well. Joseph Myers, where you out of, boss? What kind of fishing do you do? Actually, I talked to Four Life the other day, but he was at work. When was it? Friday, Saturday. One of those days. I ended up going fishing for a little bit, but it was toward the afternoon because I had made a delivery and out towards Tackletown, in Rockport. I delivered to Tackletown, and I was actually coming back. And no. I didn't go to make a delivery. I went up there to go get a payment from one of my other stores. They met me halfway. And I said, you know what? Since I'm already on that side, I'll go to Goose Island. Well, I got onto Goose Island Pier, and I was like, okay, I see a little bit of chop. I was like, I'll take that. And then by the time I got to the second right turn, the wind completely died. So I'm looking around, and I could start seeing mirrors forming on the water surface. I was like, nah, I'm good. So I turned around, loaded up, and left. And everybody was just kind of like, dude, you just got here. And I'm like, yeah, but I ain't putting up with no wind out here. It gets too pretty like that out at Goose, and I've never caught anything. And I've been out there several times, put in the whole day, and no. So my store is out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Our actual storefront online is called teamhardlife.store. It doesn't have everything of all of our tackle in there yet, but it is getting put in there. And for those of y'all that make any purchases, I've been throwing in bonus stuff as a thank you because we are starting to get our website up and running, and it's something that we've been trying to get to for a long time. So the veteran that's helping me out is also has his own business where he does and builds stuff like this for other companies and stuff like that. So we're working together on that, and I'll be putting his information out pretty soon, guys. I just wanted y'all to see his work, as it is formed and stuff like that. And, it's definitely going to help us all because we're also working with the Redford Ranch Foundation, 10KO Outdoors, S2PC, and also to the Lone Star. Let me see. I know it's another one. Give me a second. I just went hunting with them. All I had to do was pretty much show up. They put us on the deer and fed us out there and housed us as well, which was awesome. Man. Actually, where's it at? The Texas Outdoor Heroes is the other group as well. So, yeah, we are, like I said, I'm branching out. Started with one veteran group and now we're working with another. And the thing I like though with all these guys is they're working hand in hand with other veteran groups. They're not just making it all about that one group and no, you can't do this. No, they know at the end of the day the vets need as much help as they can get, and they're working together and collaborating, and it is awesome. So, yeah, but yeah, we're out of Corpus Christi, Texas. I see you doubled it up on there and stuff like that. Dave Grote says we had 10 inches of snow this weekend. Now we have 40-degree weather. Wow. So if you had that much snow, you got a lot of water running around out there now. So, golly, pretty hairy conditions right there. And Joseph says South Carolina inshore mostly. Roger that. I was actually stationed in North Carolina back in '99 through '02 while I was in the Marine Corps. Went to South Carolina a few times with my Marine Corps brothers and visiting family and stuff like that on the weekends when we could break away like a 72 or 96. So, obviously, while in the Marine Corps, they always had a certain distance that you were legally able to travel when it came down to it. And the reason for that is because obviously they didn't want you uh, pushing the limit of how far you were willing to go and stuff like that because then it was unsafe travel. You were getting too far into your sleep and stuff like that. And so they had certain distances, and we always pushed it. I'll be honest, we always did. Lucked out that we were watched over for sure, but yeah. So, has anyone heard Bart Hall show in California? The Bart Hall show. Is that on YouTube or what is that, boss? I don't know. I did have some new subscribers that were actually from Southern California. They're actually out here working and stuff like that and doing into fishing. And I told them about the channel and also told them too, about the guys that are from that area and stuff like that on the channel. So hopefully we can check them out and see if they come on the channel and comment. I was telling them about our fire drawing tonight and stuff like that. We are at $40 for tonight's fire, and we're gonna give it another 30 minutes. I'm not really in a rush tonight, so we'll give it 30 minutes. See what's up. Oh man. Look up the website. It's about fishing and other outdoor activities. All right. And is it on YouTube or is it the TikTok? Is it just a website that has their own video platform? I'd like to say I want to look at it, but I'm over here trying to get this done so I can get out of here. I haven't been doing the green cross, guys, just because right now I need. We hit a real slow period. Also, too, I haven't heard back from them up north, So the funds that are in there right now, I've been helping out local families here with donations and stuff like that. A lot of it is, like I said, local families here that when we see something and move that I need to be moved on, I do. One of them was a father or mother and son, and she's been diagnosed with cancer, and she's actually working two different jobs, and their vehicle wasn't running, and so found out that he liked to fish and everything. This was probably about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months. Um, so I grabbed one of the fishing rods that we had down here. I spooled it up a line, got about 20 or 30 liters set up on it and stuff like that, weights as well. I even got him into fish bites and stuff. And it was several $100s worth of tackle and took it over there so that way he could go out and go fishing because with at the hotel that we're staying at literally is right next to a body of water that produces a lot of fish. So I figured, well, if, I don't know what their circumstances are, but it sounded like they, could use a helping hand out. So I did that, and mom kind of got teary eyed on us and stuff like that. But she was also at work when I dropped off uh, the stuff to them and stuff. So it was good. It was good. So I look for stuff like that. The other one was the little girl that was with the Big Bertha crew. We went out there and made some donations as well toward their fundraisers and stuff like this. And this was before she passed away. I didn't get to go to the last fundraiser because I was kind of stuck up here at the shop and couldn't make it, couldn't go. So, yes, sir. Sammy Thomas asks, "What shark and bull red beach tournaments do I like? Catch and release, for sure. Or are you talking about like specific name ones that I like to fish at? So as long as it's a catch and release tournament, I like fishing them. Um, you got to remember, I was doing them way before they had drones, where we had kayaks, and we were competing against guys with jet skis. And then after that, they got into where you were competing against guys with drones, which definitely makes it a lot easier. Um, and I fished those shark and redfish tournaments that were in Galveston. I fished the ones that were here in Corpus, and I also fished the ones that were down in South Padre. Um, we also have done the ones in Bolivar, and for me, I like the ones that are close to home, so I don't have to travel 3 to 4 hours to get there. But I won't say I don't like them. I'm not saying that. I just, it's the travel time and the amount of money we spend getting way out there. I liked going out there and stuff like that because it gave me a chance to meet up with a bunch of my subscribers that would be out there. A lot of times we run into them when we're at weigh-in or we're at check-in, and a lot of times I try to sit there and talk with them, but other times we're running around like crazy trying to get to our spots because you got to remember we're not from there, so we have to go and look for our spots where the guys that live there locally, they can leave a crew there and stuff like that, where we would literally drive straight into the check-in, get checked in, and then go look for a spot on the beach and stuff like that. So, Mikey, what's up, boss? How you doing? Um, let's see. And there's been a lot that used to be that are no longer. There was a Gulf Coast surf fishing and outdoors one that's no longer there. Um, there was a Team Real Locos shark and redfish tournament that's no longer happening. Um, there was Beach Masters. There was Beyond the Breakers. There was oh man, there was a bunch of them that I don't even remember the names. We just knew that there were tournaments, and we'd go out there and go fish them. Um, a lot of times, a lot of these tournaments were fundraisers for like the Ronald McDonald's house with Beach Masters, and then Beyond the Breakers, they wanted to do a tournament, and then they end up grouping up with uh, the local tournament down here, which is biggest and baddest. So now it's here rather than Galveston. So, yeah. Uh, what's up, Timothy? Man, ain't seen you in a minute. Let's see. we are doing a fire drawing tonight, guys. We're sitting at $40, and you have about. I said I was going to do it for 30 minutes, so we got 25 minutes left. Okay, so we were actually looking at doing. I wanted to do a shark. Well, not just a shark tournament, a YouTube tournament where we would fish in all over, like, because obviously you guys can't come down here and fish in our waters for, a weekend or whatever and then go back and stuff like that. So what I wanted to do was do a tournament that would be an online deal, and y'all would submit y'all's videos and pictures to our YouTube channel, and that's how we would sit there and judge it. And that way everybody could be able to see it, and we would do it that way. However, guys, it was also during the time period when we were really getting hammered down here with not having enough sales to keep our doors open kind of deal. So my focus went from doing that to, trying to keep our shop up and running. Putting on a tournament is not easy. It takes a lot of work if you want it to make it successful. And me trying to do it by myself, I mean, y'all can see me, I'm over here working. I own the shop, yet I am over here working. And I'm going to show y'all something real quick, too. This is what I've actually been working on these last couple of days. Remember how I said I found a whole bunch of pieces of, like when I do my mono, I cut in bulk. But a lot of times when I cut in bulk, I'll cut like 1,000 pieces. Well, I'll only need like 50 or 100 or 200 pieces for our orders for whatever stores. So I had a lot of these extra pieces just kind of all up in my counter, up in buckets over here, just ready to go, but we didn't have the time to actually make it happen. Well, now that we're kind of slow, that's what I've been focusing on. Like back here, I had about 12 buckets. I'm down to, it's actually 2 buckets, but I just put one in right now, and it's only in there because it's that little bit at the bottom. Only because I haven't moved it off, and that literally just happened today. But, so I started making my snapper pieces. These are 8/0, 3 extra strong. These are the bite sections for snapper leaders with an 8/0 circle hook. All right, so I made a whole bunch of those right there, and I labeled the bag. And then we have our 7/0 right here. A whole bunch of them ready to go. Did our mono 7/0 right there. And granted, like I said, it's enough to make some leaders. And I've got the 7/0. These are the 3 extra strong. So these two are the same hooks except 7/0, 8/0. And then we've got 9/0 right here. And then I also have, I know where the 6s. Oh yeah. So I actually started making 6/0, 6/0 3X strong circle hooks, but these are loop end leaders. And then there's some 8/0s, which are, these are the 7s, and then there's the 8s. These are 12/0, but with 200-pound mono. These are the mustad hooks right there. There's some more of the 7/0 hooks right there, but these are mono instead of Dakota cable. These are the loop end snapper leaders right there, 7/0 in 2 different colors. There's the 8/0, 3 extra strong with mono. There's the 8/0, 3 extra strong loop leaders right there. There's 6/0 snapper leaders right there, these ones too. Then we got the 9/0 mono, 3 extra strong hooks. And I think that's about it right there. So, yeah, I've been kind of busy. And yes, it's back on my counter, but all of this is only because I haven't walked to the back today to go put everything up. But before I go home tonight, all of that's going to be up on the wall, ready to go for when we have an order that is calling for those specific items. If I don't already have them up on my shelf, they will be ready to go so we can put them together expediently. Yes. What would you do for work if you didn't own a tackle shop? Well, I actually worked on base as an aircraft mechanic. I did that for 7.5 years, and that was after I had worked offshore sandblasting and painting, which was after I did security work at the refineries, which was after I got out of the Marine Corps. Yep. Night Hunter, what's up, boss? How you doing? Uh, Hurtin. Now, I've been seeing some of Hurtin's video shorts and his videos on fighting some fish, man. Bro, you have no idea how much I'm foaming at the mouth that I wish I could just say, hey, man, I'll see you this weekend and just take off and go fishing with you, bro. Like, I know the door would be open, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy to just sit there and say that. You know what I mean? So, but it's coming. It's coming. Things are rolling. You see that video, our Mighty Mullet Saga video? That video got over 10,000 views in a week. That was awesome. Like, yeah, we need a bunch more videos like that to go up. So when y'all are commenting, guys, like, share, subscribe, that helps. That really does help us grow the channel, get more subscribers, which obviously is going to help us get more income coming in through the channel, which gives us the ability to do more and give away more. So, yeah. Juan, what's up, boss? How you doing? So, just give you an idea of how much I've done while we were sitting here. I literally started right when the channel started because I had just cut the mono. So that's how many I've done so far. Obviously, I'm not crimping right now. I'll crimp once I'm kind of done with all of this, so that way I'm not picking up and putting down, picking up, putting down, and stuff like that. So. Roger that. Oh, and we're definitely gonna have to take the Mighty Mullet up there for sure. That's gonna, yeah. I think that'll be cool. That'll be real cool. So when is the best window for the bigger ones? I know, like for us shark fishing over here, August is probably the month that we have the biggest sharks come through in Corpus Christi. What would be the best month for all of that to happen? Night Hunter just got back from fishing. Well, what's the story? Did you catch anything? Come on, give us a good report. Everybody been talking about striking out. Oh. Oh man. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's under construction, but it's teamhardlife.store is our online website. Teamhardlife.store. Like I said, he's been putting in our gear, but you got to remember we have a lot of gear, and all of it is made by us. All the leaders and weights, surf weights, are all made by us. Then we also carry the Abbott reels. We build custom rods. We do spooling. Yeah. If you want monster sharks, August is the month. Monster sharks, August is the month. And that's normally when they would hold the not Beachmasters, biggest and baddest. That was the tournament down here that was the first tournament to produce over 12-foot sharks for their weigh-in. Like I showed up, with an 11.7 and didn't even place. That was a heartbreaker right there because all the tournaments that we've ever gone to, if you got 8 foot, like you're done. Like you got it. The one time I showed up with a 10-footer was the first time that 10-foot had actually ever been broken during a catch and release tournament. I was the first one to do it. So. PNW. PNW. What is PNW? 4 to 10 foot all summer long. Same in the winter. Just the bite's a bit slower at colder temperatures. Roger that. All right. Okay. Have I heard of Whiskey Warrior? Yes, actually, I just talked to him a little while ago. He told me to text him, and actually, I didn't text him. Let me shoot him a text real quick. I've been kind of swamped over here doing what I had to do. I do this now. Yeah, excuse me. Wrote it on an envelope because I was in the middle of something. I do with it. Well, it's here somewhere. Move things around. I don't know what I did with his number. He told me to call him too or text him, but he didn't tell me when to text him. He just told me later. Because I know he's busy as hell. So. Ooh, sorry, I'm yawning, guys. Yes, Lucky, we've actually had him on the channel a few times. I did a couple of video shorts when I was out there fishing. He actually showed us how he baits his own hook by himself. That was pretty interesting. So, I caught 3 keeper blue catfish, a small pup drum, 12-inch croaker. And you were only out for 3 hours? Nice. I was out for 3 hours the other day and caught probably 10 piggy perch. Now, the Muffin Man, I don't know. Nope, don't know him. Oh, man, let's see. Ooh. Ugh. Slowed down when it got dark and missed a lot of hookups. Where were you fishing at, Night Hunter? And that's what we noticed too the other day. Like several times that we went out to the packery, um, during the day, like middle of the day, the bite was hot. The bite was hot, and then about 5 o'clock, which is about an hour before the sun went down, it got hot again, and then just it just went cold shoulder as soon as it got the sun went down in that area. So we ended up leaving. We don't know if it picked up later on or not. Um, it was because we were just doing a day trip for a few hours and then coming back. You know what I mean? So, uh, Sabine River on the east side of Texas. Roger that. Is that the north side of what is that? Bryan Beach. So, what about Padre Island is different from the beaches down here? Oh, are you talking about S.P.I. compared to Bolivar? Is that what you're talking about? One, I would have to say the guts are deeper, water's a lot clearer. Had gnarly freaking surf over here. Um, yeah, no, it's crazy over there. So yeah. Tomorrow we'll be open. We normally get open around 8:15. because I normally have to take the kids, drop them off at school, and then I come over here and open up shop. Um, I've seen where the first gut was about 6 foot deep. Yeah. Yep. The second gut we didn't even try. When the first gut was that deep, we knew the second gut was way deeper. So uh, I don't know. Somebody called it the Packery or named it the Packery, and that's what we call it. Somebody, whoever named that area is, I don't know why they call it that, but that's what they call it. So it's not because it's not that I know of why there's a specific reason for it. So. But we have the Packery channel, we have the Port 8 jetties as well. There was one used to be Fish Pass, but it actually silted in. They were talking about re-dredging and reopening it back up, but they haven't done so. So our three main sections to the Gulf is the Port 8 jetties, Packery channel, and then the South Mansfield. Uh, and there's also another one down there, Boca Chica as well. John Darnell, what's up, boss? How you doing? Just at McFadden yesterday. So I don't know if I've ever fished McFadden. To tell you the truth, there was so many beaches that we've been up there throughout the last 10 years of me traveling up to Galveston or San Luis. I mean, from Bolivar down to Surfside, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. You talking about the Pelicans? Yeah, they were literally diving in trying to catch our fish as we were pulling them in. Um, they didn't even try waiting like for us to bring it in and release it. They were trying to get it before it even came up. Do kings normally run through the Port 8 jetties? Um, Actually, it's probably twice a year that they run through there. You have the beginning of summer and end of summer, but they run through pretty much through the whole thing. As long as the water temperature is at a certain temperature, and if I'm not mistaken, it's like 64. Once it gets over 64, is when we start hitting the kings. Um, yes, sir. February 24th. It's going to be interesting how they're going to work this because obviously, a lot of us use carts to get all our gear out there, and then now they have the wider front end where it's bowed up on there. So like we need to figure out how we're going to do this. I was actually talking to John, not John, Dan out of the Galveston area, and he was talking about how on their pier that they cast from inside the pier, but they have a line where people are not allowed to put their gear past that line and stuff like that. And I was like, that could help, but again, too, a lot of people that walk on that pier are just walkers. Like they have no idea what any of the stuff means. When they put these lines on the floor, or we have gear over here for a reason. Like they don't know because they don't ever fish it. They just go out there for sightseeing. So we always have to even though us as fishermen will know the rules and regs, but we have to watch out for those people and kind of let them know, hey man, we got to watch out for this. Got it. And sometimes it gets tiring, but I mean it's part of the game that we got to do. So I don't want nobody getting hurt while we're out there and stuff like that. So and shoot, and Sammy actually talking about that the pelicans they were trying to slip the small drum and small redfish that we were pulling in. We're talking like 15-inch reds and 12-inch drum and something like that. Those pelicans were diving at them, trying to eat those whole. Like I was like, God, these fish, man. Ah, that sucks. Yeah. And you broke off that many times because you were trying to lock down the drag, or they were just um, like I, Were they spooling you? Like, or were you fishing for kings is a whole different ballgame. I'll be honest with you. A lot of the times, I just let them run until they slow down, and then that's when I start pulling them in. Because if you try to horse them, 9 times out of 10, you'll straighten out the hooks. And yeah, and that's just from the pressure, the speed that they're running. The water weight on the line will actually cost you to bend open your hooks and stuff like that. So pretty crazy. Smoke and run 30-pound braid on spinning reels. Yeah, we have a lot of guys that use 30-pound braid on the pier, and they land some monsters. We've used 10 and 12 pound mono and landed big old kingfish on the pier. So, but we weren't using spinning reels. We were using bait casting reels and stuff like that. Abu Garcias, Luz, Corrado D's. We were catching big kings with Corrados. But that was back when they were built. They were really built. The Corrado D's were probably the last ones that we fished with at that time. So. Something big spool, Jim. SXJ, hope it wasn't a big drum. Well, SXJ, what did you have it spooled with? The last word I heard from Tightline Braid, he was getting ready to move out of that building because the property owner sold it to a company there in that same building complex. So they were getting ready to move out of there. So because I wasn't able to place my order before they were able to move out of there, we're basically whatever braid we have here is going to be like that for the next several months. So I got plenty of braid, guys, but it won't the two-tone colors that I wanted to bring in and stuff like that. It got put on hold because that deal with PNC screwing us with the ATM withdrawal that they claim we got, which I know we didn't because I had to borrow the money to cover it. Which, if y'all are in business, guys, and you know when somebody steals $1,500 worth of profit, that wrecks you, and it wrecked us, and it couldn't have come at a worse time because at the same time, our sales were not at their peak, like during the summer and stuff like that. So that is still affecting me to this day. Yeah, so we're actually I'm waiting for a call back from a lawyer over here so we can start something on that because that is big companies taking advantage of little companies, and I don't like bullies. But again, too, that's going to be the thing. If these lawyers are going to be willing to fight for it, or am I going to have to come out of the pocket crazy to make it happen and stuff like that? So. I didn't even know there was a fishing show in Houston next week, to tell you the truth. I didn't know, but we'll see. And I don't have any plans. Tiger making her special appearance. Oh, cat. She's over there playing with the water. She came and wet my. She had wet paws and came up and just left. So, yeah. Hooked into a tarpon, spooled us. So this year I'm bringing my HXW. Yeah, actually, I fought a huge tarpon on a Shimano TLD 15, and that was a fight. That was a serious fight. Uh, I have been trying to get a hold of them since last month. They had alternatives to fulfill my order. Night Hunter, can you text me what? Nope. My charging cord will hang there, and she likes to come and claw this corner of my desk and stuff like that. So, why you stop clawing? What? We know you're doing it. You can't act like it wasn't you. as, soon as I'm getting her on camera, like, I didn't do it. You saw the look like it wasn't me. Raphael says he'll be at the Houston Fishing Show. Roger that. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of going to be the thing there, Sputnik. With an SXJ, it's a very small reel, boss. And if you're not fishing it fully with braid, and even then, too, like probably a 30 pound hollow core, you're not going to have a whole lot of line on there. Uh, and especially if you're casting 100, 150 yards, like, but see, that's the tricky thing, guys. And this is something that I have noticed about the braid. Um, when you go fishing and you come back and it sits there for a week or two, you literally have to get the braid unstuck because what ends up happening, the salt water dries up and it makes it stick to the inner layers and stuff like that. So when you try to cast out, if it's stuck like that, you end up burning off line and you lose a lot of line. Um, and yeah, it's kind of bad, but it's also if you understand that and you start um, pre-casting your gear, cast out a little bit, pull a bunch of line off, then reel it back in so it's nice and wet, and then cast out a little further, you won't have those burn offs. So, but getting the salt water on there is very important because salt water doesn't dry off immediately during cast and or while it's sitting out there. Like it'll stay pretty wet, but at the same time too, if you were out there before you reel in, you put your rod tip down and wet more of the line. It helps so that way when you pull it onto the spool, you don't have to worry about your next cast getting a burn off. So, Sputnik says, I'm done with braid, especially since it isn't braid resistant. I experimented with straight braid this season, didn't like it. Hmm. And where were you fishing at, boss? And what kind of solid braid were you comparing it to? Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to attend that one because I think we have a family function that we're supposed to be at that weekend. So I'm pretty sure I won't be there. So no, Chris, that is no joke, man. Had some pretty rough days here the last several weeks or within the last couple of months, and she's definitely giving me something to kind of take my mind off of it, especially if I'm cooped up here and I can't take off and go fishing and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, it's the biggest one out there. Is that the one that's like all week long? It's like 6, 7 days. What's up, Jasmine? How you doing? Beds and rocks and I've tried most of the expensive braids. And two tight legendary brown gets cut off like butter. And which solid braid are you using, and what weight class as well? Yeah, we stopped using like ordering Jerry Brown quite some time ago. Uh, we've had a few customers bring it in, because they ordered it like through Amazon or wherever they were getting it, and we saw some of the problems that they were having. One of them was right before a shark tournament, and he couldn't get an answer. They said, yeah, that he could ship it back to them, and it'd be about a week before it got there, and so basically he would end up missing the tournament. So he went ahead and just kept fishing with that line. He's had it on there, but he's run into the problems that I told him he was going to have with it. So he won't buy Jerry Brown anymore. So uh, yeah, put it 900. Email it to the Team Hard Life One at gmail.com. That's our YouTube email right here. So that way I know when I get questions or information from there is from the channel only. So and or the website because I actually no, I have that going to another email so that way I can keep that kind of separated as well. So uh, well, one of the things with Jerry Brown was Okay, so there's been a lot of things that we ran into, and this has been through the last several years that we did deal with them. Got to remember, we've stopped dealing with them. It's been 5 or 6 years that we haven't dealt with them. Actually, over 6 years because it was before Corona that we stopped dealing with them. Uh, and one of the things was they were sending us the wrong weight class of line from our orders. So, like if we ordered 100 pound, they were sending us 60 pound or 130 pound. Like it wasn't the right weight class of line that we would order. And then or they would send us a solid braid instead of a hollow core. And so, and instead of taking our word for it, we had to ship it back on our own dime, wait for them to get the line, verify that it is everything we said it wasn't or wasn't supposed to be, and then we had to wait another week for them to ship it back to us or ship the next braid to us. And we dealt with that for months and months and months, and then finally I had enough, especially when and I know a lot of this had to do with Mr. Jerry Brown, and toward the end, uh, he was dealing with Alzheimer's and stuff like that, so he started losing his memory, um, and his workers were taking advantage of the situation. So it I had to cut ties with him just because a lot of the promises that he promised me, he didn't follow through on, and so I got screwed. I got screwed. There was a lot of ideas that I came up with, and we were supposed to be taken care of, and he would forget, and it would be crazy because it would be from one week to the next. He'd be one way, and then the following week he'd be another way, and it was crazy. So I had to cut ties with him. So, and that was because I was putting my customers first. I'm not gonna. I've always been like that. You know, when I buy products from a shop or whatever, I was inspecting it and doing everything I needed to make sure it was the right products and everything before I gave it to a customer. Because at the end of the day, the customer doesn't care that they messed up. They're looking at me that I'm the one who gave it to them. Mine were the final hands on that product. So I had to stay on top of that all the way through. And when I cut ties with them, I was pretty upset because I'm real faithful to people or businesses. If they take care of me, I'm going to do the best to take care of them. And, you know, if they go above and beyond and help me out, then I'm going to go above and beyond and help them out as well. And so, like I said, with all of y'all commenting on the channel, being proactive and doing all of that, all it's doing is helping us grow. And again, too, when things come to fruition, guess who I'm going to be taking care of first? Those who have been there and doing everything, you know, to help us out. So, uh, yeah, let's see. Up and got an accident from behind. Oh, God, herniated disc. Looking forward to the story for engine ship socks. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Jazz. And we'll definitely keep you in our prayers for sure. Uh, yeah, that's one of the things why I love being in a truck now. Like I don't feel safe in a vehicle like little cars where you're seeing nothing but bumpers in front of you or you know next to you. Like it is crazy. So Roger that, Night Hunter. I'll check that out tomorrow when I get to the shop and I can focus on that and see how we can help them or if they'll work a deal with us to reimburse us and we can get if I can get the gear out from here and go from there. So Roger that. Well, I'm glad you're all. I mean, you're all right, as good as you can be, but that sucks. So did they say you're gonna heal from that? Because I always hear people talk about herniated discs and stuff like that, and I never really get to talk to them about it. You were in a 2500 riding shotgun. Golly, what hit you on 18 wheeler? Sputnik says, honestly, I was looking into it. Even the most expensive pilot Corpus, 30 to 35% line strength versus abrasion. I don't think it's worth it, and I'm going back to running mono top shots. So, okay, Sputnik, are you throwing lures in your style of fishing? Because you're talking about uh, Having my shark reels pass through, I never had so many cutoffs before. It seems I've talked to a lot of anglers and they had the same issue. So I know I've talked to multiple anglers from different areas and stuff like that, and a lot of them feel that it is the oyster bottoms or the big shell on the sandbars and stuff like that. And I got to remind them too, when you're fishing big rigs, they don't the hollow core doesn't sit on the bottom. It's semi buoyant. Um, so a lot of times the cutoffs that we were having were from swim throughs. So what I started doing was I tried to, when I started putting baits out next, I started putting my baits out in those areas where I was having those swim throughs to see if I can catch whatever predators were following those smaller fish. Because a lot of times those bluefish and Spanish mackerel that were up close going after the shiners or the small sardines and glass minnows and stuff like that. And man, they were just wrecking everybody's line. We were pulling in 200-pound mono on a couple of our buddies' reels, and you can see the little teeth marks, every so often. And some of them, they were just like areas of like 20 to 30 teeth marks on their monofilament and stuff like that out there. And several of them got cut off too because obviously it was something bigger. But the Spanish mackerel were horrible, horrible, horrible. I was casting my meat hunter rod and I preferred throwing it reel down position to do the shorter handle. So you mean you were rotating the reel to the left? Wow. So when they do a surgery on a herniated disc, I've never experienced that or know anybody personally that had that kind of surgery or whatever. And so that's why I'm asking questions because it could one day happen, and having an idea of what y'all have to go through. Or young driver in the SUV, we had to stop mid or sofa. Uh, Maker work working refines. I do pipe fitting welding for the maker. Wow. Yeah, that's yeah. And your job's demanding. That's for sure, Jazz. Your job is demanding. I didn't mind paying more for hollow core if it offers, but if it only performed like I wanted to, I'll place it at the same rate as solid. So what's the point in my mind? Yeah. No, I could definitely see that. Um, what weight class of line were you using? I like the real kitty cast where the reel is. Oh, where the reel is down further. Okay, okay, yeah. Basically, like the distance casting guys that we deal with over here, all of them, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them have where the reel is low on the rod, and yeah, yeah, okay. I actually talked to Big Dan the other day, and he was telling me when the tournament is again, and I should have wrote it down, but I know it's on their website and stuff like that. So, um, but I know too for they were asking for people that wanted to get into the Team USA fishing tournament or fishing team, but you had to have casted at least a 775 on distance. Um, and there was some other requirements as well. So I was like, "Damn, I'm not there yet." My farthest cast is like 715. So I don't know. Maybe I need to try the smaller weights. Because if I'm throwing an 8 ounce, 689 feet, and a 6 ounce, 715, maybe I can get those. But I know guys that are throwing 700 foot, with the 6 ounce or the 175 gram and the. I saw somebody throwing a 200 gram, but I don't remember what distance it was. So. Well, I don't know if it holds. I would consider it. It helps when the 6 ounce lead plus the lead. The rod feels uncomfortable when casting the normal way. Oh, okay, okay. I don't think I've ever tried casting like that with a low reel. Never tried that. Um, well, I was throwing the HDX by breakaway when I was doing that. Now I've got a Italicana A4, and I will tell you this: going from the HDX to the Italicana, I could feel where the line was starting to move on my thumb, like I was getting a little burn action there. So I don't know, we'll see what's up when I get back out there. I'm actually doing a lot of calisthenic workouts at the house because I'm trying to build my core more, so that way when I do these casting events, because uh, it's a lot of walking and it's a lot of reeling and it's a workout that I don't normally do. I will have to say that at that time we were still fishing off a ball ball pier, so I was used to throwing heavy weights or rods and leaders and all of that. And when you don't fish as much as you normally used to, I can tell you I definitely feel it. Like when I'm trying to cast those distances and stuff like that, I could definitely feel it. But I know I'm capable because at one tournament I was in the 700s repeatedly. So. How do you like fishing from the beach with HGX breakaway? I honestly, when I'm even fishing on the beach, I don't normally fish those longer rods like that. And the reason being is because the reel is so far away from the bottom of the rod, and so it's I don't like giving the fish too much leverage over me when I'm reeling in. So I normally use my 10 foot rods, and I prefer those. Make one of those work out. Was it that video with the two bungee cords? Like he had a bungee cord on the front and one on the back. It's if that's the video, it's funny because I had seen it maybe 15 minutes prior to seeing it on that. Like I saw it on it was either Facebook or TikTok. And when I saw the video, it's like, oh, I already saw that video. I was like, yeah. Uh, Roger that. Well, definitely take it easy because man, having herniated disc that's no fun. No bueno. Yeah, and I'm not saying the rods are bad or anything. I'm not saying that. It's just my preference. That's all I'm saying. It's like I normally don't like it. Now I have gone out there where I'm trying to reach further distances, and I'll go to those, but it hasn't really panned out to where I can actually um, say that when I switched from casting from my 10 foot rod to one of those, that it paid off. So Sputnik says he had a custom HDX made, cut down to 11.6, and that thing is perfect. Since I love the fact that it's two pieces and performs like a single piece. Roger that, yeah. I do plan eventually on getting the 14 foot HDX and breakaway without the rear reel seat. Also, you can pretty much move it as you want to. I use spinning reels with the HDX and ballista. I hadn't tried that, but that might make a difference. But I'm not too big on spinning reels. I don't know. And you know what's crazy? I have posted those videos from the Packery, and not one of y'all noticed that I was using spinning reels. Not one person said, "Hey, he's using a spinning reel." Like, I'm just saying, like, that was pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Feels like my height that's that. There you go. So, but do you kayak redfish baits on the beach or do you cast them? Okay, so I've actually done both. I've casted them, and then there's times when I was like, man, I've done it during like Sharkathon when they didn't enforce the 6 rod limit. So I used to run, my redfish rigs over the third bar. And the reason I always ran them over the third bar is because I would always think, Bob Hall Pier, we're over the third bar, or near the third bar, and I would always catch bull reds left and right. So that was my idea. And honestly, it only paid off for me one time, and it wasn't even during the Sharkathon tournament. It was during Surf Cats tournament. I ran out of my bait and I caught a 43 3/4 inch bull red, and I ended up winning the Surf Cats tournament with that, yakking my bait over the third bar. So, yeah. So, like I said, spinning reels are a nightmare for me to service so much more parts than a conventional reel. Wow. I didn't know that. Did not know that. Have you ever tried using a cell line rig to take out shark bait? No, because 99% of the time, if you have a wind that is coming from onshore to offshore, it's a northern, and technically you're not supposed to use a sail to. They would consider it a sail line if you use that, and you're not supposed to be able to do that on the beach or on an island. Since we're on a barrier island, I don't know how that would work. The other one would be a west wind, and 9 times out of 10, if we had a west wind, we didn't catch nothing, and we would go home. So our best winds are southeast, which means the winds coming from offshore to land, and that's where we normally catch a lot more of our fish. So using a sail was null and void, basically. I had to kayak out my own bay 1,200 yards from bull reds one time, never again. You know, it's funny you say that. There was many a times where we're yakking out baits, and it wasn't for bull reds, it was for shark, and we catch a bull red 2,000 yards out, 1,500 yards out, 1,800 yards. It's like, God, why can't we catch the bull reds up close and the shark? And man, yeah, I've been there. I'm telling you, been there. uh, why do character boats drift for catching fish? In your thoughts? A lot of them drift because they're not allowed to throw anchor into the area to be over an area. Um, and the reason why they do that is because if they do throw an anchor in that area, uh, they can mess up the fishing habitats. So, and or they get stuck. Like if they're fishing over um, and cut down oil platform or something like that, they'll end up losing their anchor. So it really depends what structure they are fishing, and can they anchor or not anchor. Um, so a lot of times too, I've seen where they do it intentionally because they hook up so many fish at once that they want to get in and out of that area, while they're fighting the fish, and then they get back into the area, get a few more hookups, and they fight the fish away from that area so they don't spook all the rest, and or they don't draw in a lot of the sharks into that area. So I caught a 46-inch, 800 yards out on Whole Bonita. I just got back to the beach, so I wasn't very happy. I've been there. I've been there, man. Like they said, as soon as I dropped it, that it started going, and they pretty much were fighting it, and I was mad. I was real mad. Yeah. Yeah, it's to recover his RC boat that malfunctioned dropping baits. I don't know how they did it. He like swam out 800 yards to get his RC boat. That okay? If he did that, that's insane. That dude's a beast. He's a beast. Oh my god. Yeah, well, not me. You ain't gonna catch me swimming that far. No, sir. That is insane. Wow. Golly. That's insane. That's not even that's insane right there. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Nope, not me. Because I already know what I cash. And I know they got my number. They got my number. How do I feel about no drones? I also have to say I'm caught between them because I have kayaked for so many years, and or jet ski baits for a few years, and being able to get out there and get baits in the water really quick without getting hurt or getting flipped over and this and that. And granted, it's not big baits. I mean, if it's for a fast little turnaround, get some fish on deck, hook up some bull reds or some pompano, and when they're just out of range, it's awesome. Because normally we see these schools of big fish come swimming through, and they're just out of casting range, and that is annoying. God, that is so annoying. But to be able to put out a bait really quick and get into them, I mean, it has it has its advantages. It does, but again, too, uh, sight from here to seeing something like that, putting out a bait like that is okay. But if they're sitting out there floating around, like specifically looking for a fish, like where I've seen them pull in tuna or sailfish from these islands, using the drone, they pretty much go right out there and drop a bait right in front of a fish. That's, granted, you can't force the fish to bite, but it definitely increases your chances 100 times over because normally you would not have reached that fish if you hadn't been able to see it. Now, obviously, if they're showing themselves and coming up out of the water, that's different. You know what I mean? You still, honestly, you know, you're going to put a bait out there, and I've dropped baits in schools like that and still didn't hook anything. So, but on the chances of you seeing that every single time you go out because the water's so dirty and stuff like that, it's a little different. So. I have messages from Express telling me to continue using my drone. So if I get a ticket, I will send them my fine and have for them to pay for it. There you go. So there ain't no like the roughest water that I feel comfortable in. I don't ever feel comfortable kayaking in rough water. Um, but I will tell you this, while in tournament, I'll push myself to get out there and yak baits and stuff like that. But then there's times when we sit there and we draw the line, like, no, but it's too dangerous, and we'll get out there and it's not because we didn't try. Like we'll try and we'll get eaten and eaten and eaten and eaten. Um, the year that I won in 2013, our most of our camp tried to get out past the third bar, and I think only 3 of us made it. Um, I was gonna make it a second time. Literally, like I got past the white water, the water turned blue. I was like, I got it. Like I was all happy, and that's where the swell picked me up right there, like this, and just rocked me back into the third bar, and then I was done. It was. Oh God, I got so eaten on that wave. It hurt. It really did hurt. So yeah. They're calling people Texas cowards for not continuing to use drones. Hopefully, they pay the fines their customers are gonna get. Who's they calling Texas cowards for not continuing to use their drones? That the company is? Well, if that does happen and you get a ticket and they don't pay, you definitely let us know so we can put it on blast. Because if you got the email saying that they're gonna take care of it, we definitely want to see that. So, but again, too, I want to see where they take care of everybody. If it does happen that more than one person gets a ticket or what have you, you know what I mean. So I want. See, I want to kind of test myself in some rough water, but my dad is always nervous. Said he's been kayaking for 15 years, so I can't be mad. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, boss. The thing you need to try out before you actually start kayaking out into rough surf like that is go out there without a bait. Just go out there without a bait and see if you can get through the surf. You know what I mean? You get through it, you get back, cool. But again, too, that's not the true test. The true test is once you flip over, can you get back into that kayak in that rough water? I mean, do you remain calm? Do you do all the right things to get yourself back into that kayak and stuff like that? So, and two, always wear your vest. So again, too, boss, like they can do all of that, but when it comes down to the meat and potatoes, and when they have to start paying these fines, then we'll have to see that. So, yeah, no, for the fire drawing, yeah, we've actually gone about 30 minutes past the time I said we were going to go, and we're only at $40 for tonight's fire drawing, which is probably the lowest we've ever had. um, and if we don't roll it out tonight, then I'll just add these funds onto Friday's fire drawing, and we'll see go from there. But yeah, I guess we just got sidetracked with all the fishing that we were talking about doing and stuff like that. So, and I'm actually down to my last couple of pieces right here on the mono. I've pretty much put all the swivels on over here. Um, actually, I've I've gone out at night during red tide. It was probably in the 40-degree temps out there, and we probably had 30-mile-per-hour winds. It was 6 to 8 footers on the third bar. Fog was rolling in, and I still put out, me and a buddy of mine, we still put out baits 1,800 yards out in the dark, and it was real sporty there. So, all right, so I have finished stack. Just putting the soles on. All right, guys. Let's see who can guess the exact number of how many pieces of mono I have here. I'll give y'all till the end when I get done crimping this. Whoever gets it correctly will get a set of 3 liters. You know what? I'll make it 4. You pay shipping. I'll make it 4 liters. 4 4-footers. But you got to get the number exact. Good luck. Let's see who gets it. It's 250-pound mono right there. I'll be hooking it up with our hook section's right there, the 250 pound. Right there. It's all already ready to rock. I just got to put this together. Matt, what's up, boss? Anyone catching drone nuts on big fighting Saturday? Didn't get a pick. Just one bull red all day. Was looking for a sandbar. And actually, I want to say we put out a bait, a whiting out, 300 yards on Saturday for 3 hours, 4 hours, for 4 hours, and it didn't even get touched. Been enjoying my 3-hook clip down rig to streamline baits to get distance. Roger that. All right, guys. So if y'all are just chiming in, I showed everybody the bundle of 250 pound mono because I'm making the 4-foot shark casting leaders. And if you guess the number exact, you will win 4 leaders. It's got to be exact, guys. So, and it has to be the first person who guesses it correctly, guys. So, and what I'll do is I will, as soon as I get done crimping, I will count them out in front of you, and we will go from there. I'll put time on there and then count them out, so that way you can't guess after that point. So, did you hold the world record for biggest tiger? Yes, I did. For catch and release, it was a 12'6" tiger caught and released from Bob Hall Pier. It should have been the 100-pound line class world record, which means I still would have the record, but because I used a monofilament top shot that was 200 feet long, rather than them looking at it as just a top shot, they saw it as they certified it as an all tackle because they considered the mono top shot part of a leader, which sucks because the guys out of Florida, their main line is 200-pound test, but I did it with 100-pound test. So 12.6, 967 pounds on the -3 side of it. What I mean by that is there is a formula to give you a plus or minus 3% of the actual body weight that the shark could weigh. So what it is I think it's fort squared times girth, and you divide that by 800, and it gives you a weight. So then you add 3% or minus 3%, and you can do the high and low of what it would have been for the actual weight itself and stuff like that. So she was huge. She was huge. She had a 76-inch girth. No, it doesn't say on there. But I know I have it somewhere, but it does say the weight, the date I caught at tiger sharks and stuff like that. So what's the biggest shark you've seen caught on a cast out? 8 foot plus. Seen 8 foot pluses caught on cast outs. Tigers and hammers were the ones that were in that size range right there, or for cast outs. Tigers and hammers. How long did it take to bring her in? Okay, so she was my first monster shark, and the first time I brought her to the pier was an hour and 15 minutes. When she saw the pier, she turned and burned away, and it took another 15 minutes to bring her back the second time. And then once we got her the second time, we were able to rope the leader this one, and then we walked her down to the water's edge, and we got the hooks out, measured her, tagged her, and released her from that point. So now, fast forward, years later, and I've had multiple monster big shark fights and manta ray fight, and my 13'2" tiger I pulled that one in from 1,800 yards out to the beach in 35 minutes. But I was also using a T-Rex 80 with 130-pound braid. And yeah, she didn't stand a chance. My 12-foot 3 from 600 yards to the pier was about 15 minutes. My 10-foot 10-6 from Bob Hall Pier, that one was about 600 yards too. And that was a male. He was a big, healthy male. That one took about 8 to 10 minutes, and I brought him to the pier. So, have you heard of a 9-odd pen center getting spooled when casting 65 yards out? I have seen where reels get smoked. I nearly got smoked on a pen 4-aught with 50-pound mono in about 40 seconds because I casted off a little cow-nose stingray that got pupped out on the pier. It was a dead stingray, but when we're cutting her open to put out shark baits, this little cow-nose fell out of her. So I put her on the hook and lobbed her off the right side, and before I could walk 30 feet away, that rod was pinned to the rail. And I was able to get the leader back after the hook came out or slipped or whatever, and it was kinked 11 inches wide. It had 2 kinks on it, here and here, which were 11 inches wide. And then the tail rash where it was hitting the main line was 14 feet back. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Okay, so mainly the only difference between the surf rods that are casted in Galveston is the length of the reel seat from the butt cap. Most of the guys in the Galveston area like a 30-something inch reel seat, like long, like what the way we cast for distance casting on shore, or when I go to the distance casting tournaments, they like those long reel butt caps. Whereas here in Bob Hall, we like them 18, maybe 22 inches, 24 at the most. Start going longer than that, we don't like that. Shit, I've seen where we've done 12-aughts, just lobbed them out there and they get pinned to the rail and stuff like that. And I've seen that it was a 14-foot plus hammer that came, it was swimming sideways. It wasn't upright like this, it was swimming sideways. And I looked over the back hammer, I was like, this is a big hammer right there. And then, by the time everybody got there to see, only a few guys saw the hammer. And it was a few days later that a monster one was caught down beach and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the same one or not. Can't confirm nor deny. Ooh, you got a sea magic. Nice. Yeah, he built it for the Galveston guys. That's the way they build them over there. So, if someone would be ordering a Hard Life custom rod, which style would it be? It would be our style here, like the 22-inch butt. If it's a 10-foot rod, your reel seat would probably sit at about 22 inches. And it's pretty much the same length that you see me casting all my 10-footers. We don't like that real long base right there. So even when I go to Galveston, I take mine over there. I do just fine with them. It's just everybody, that's been taught a certain way, they follow that groove and stuff like that until they try something different. I want to say I've casted, the Galveston style. I still didn't. I didn't take to it. You know what I mean? And it was because those Galveston guys were coming down here to Bob Hall Pier, and we were sharing knowledge and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen that here as well. They cut down 10-footers to 9-foot or 8.6. Seen that. That's where the I learned of another, like a 552 Harrington. If it was cut down to like that, they called it a 550. I don't know if the actual 550 was that length or not. I never got, like I said, I didn't get crazy into all the numbers for the Harringtons. The ones that I mainly stuck with were the ones that I like to fish with, which were the 552s, 553s, and the 575s, 555s for the shark rods and stuff like that. Now, I used to have a 721, and that was so awesome until I dropped it in the water, and then after that, it was nothing but bad juju every time I got a 721 in, so I will never bring in a 721 into my collection because I just get nothing but, or I was getting nothing but bad luck at that time. I don't know if things have changed since then, but you know, any of y'all ever have any of that, like a fishing, like you hear these people like don't ever bring a banana on a boat because you'll never catch anything. Like, what is your like fishing don't do or you must do to catch fish? I want to hear what y'all's what is it? What is the word? Like what is that? The not theory, but what's up? What am I looking for? What am I? Y'all know what I'm saying. And yeah, I don't know. We got a fire drawing going, guys. We're only at $40. That's only 2 people in the drawing. I have not seen my Zelle over here, so let me check the Zelle. Oh, I got one here. Kyle Whitmire for 20, so that'll put us up to 60 right there. Let's see. I met Damon Remillard at Bolivar while I was cruising the beach on the golf cart after work. I was asking him on what rod I should get for my HXW Raptor. He showed me a Harrington that he had. Well, he's got a lot of Harringtons, and he's got a pretty big collection like I do and stuff like that. It had a pink HXW on it, and it was a nice Harrington. I think that was a 550. If I'm not, was it a casting rod or was it a boat rod? Because he's got several. Right on. Yep. Superstitions, yes. Jasmine nailed it. Yeah. What is y'all's superstitions like? You know what you can do or you must do to catch fish, or you don't do to make sure you catch fish. You know, or what's a bad omen for you? Like, I have multiple. One of them was my son Nico. Every time he went fishing with me, like, and any time he found lures, we wouldn't catch a fish. Just lures. Like, I don't know where he gets it. I'm not a lure person, but he loves fishing with lures, so he does. And I mentioned him and I was like, son, you're adopted because I don't do lures. He's like, come on, Dad. Like, oh yeah. The Harringtons aren't worth what people want for them. Better to get a modern blank. Well, that's your personal preference right there, boss. Like for me, I've casted the newer rods and stuff like that, and I've thrown the FTU, I've thrown the Sea Magics, Jawbones, Rain Shadows. I've thrown all kinds, and you know, for me, the Harrington, Harnell, the Rawhides, I love the way they cast. Like it's just a personal preference, and for me, you know, that's what I like. You know, and that's me. You know, and just like everybody else, you know, it's not a one size fit all. There isn't a one rod that's going to fit everybody's wants or needs and stuff like that. Everybody has something different or something they don't like or do like those catfish rods. You know, I don't like them because I can't get a 100-yard cast out of them. But you talk to the guys that fish, you know, in the lakes or rivers where they don't have to cast for them, they love them. They love no, because they get to do certain things that I can't do with mine. And one of them is like high sticking them. We can't high stick my rods because you'll break the tips off, which y'all seen me do with the tackle industry, you know. So, yeah. It was a boat rod. Ooh, I don't remember. I don't remember exactly which one he had for that. I worked with my grandpa cutting grass at Boulevard, so every day after work I could ride around on the beach looking for other fishermen to ask them what they were catching. Roger that. All right. I got the idea to use a 7-foot H to have a boat rod my SX from seeing you use Mighty Mullets. It's really fun to get a good distance too. Nice. Yeah. My biggest superstition, I believed, it is to leave the landing net in your truck if you want the big fish to bite. Has it worked? Now, see, I mean, you having a superstition, it's got to be earned. It ain't just like a deal. Like I know on Ball Hall Pier, there were several times. You know, this is way years and years before I got married. You know, we would have girlfriends or whatever, and like they come out and visit with us on the pier, and we wouldn't be catching anything while they're there. And then you know, uh, they're like, "Well, we're gonna go to the store. We want something to drink or whatever." And then you know, we place an order, and they take off. And as soon as they leave, like the end of the, you know, halfway down the pier, we'd start hooking up. Pop, 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 pop. They come back and they'd go dead again. So we kind of just look at each other like, dude, hey, you need something from the store? You need like, yeah, hey, we'll give you for gas and we'll buy you this. So like we would sweeten the deal for them, and then we would send them back to the store. And like a third or fourth time, they're like, hey, we're getting tired of walking up with this. Yeah, but that's the only time we're catching. So we used to do that all the time. I don't know why the Mad Cat rods have gotten so popular within the last 35 years. I think they're junk. I'm I wouldn't say they're junk. They're just not my style of fishing. Was like the Mad Cats, the Hellcats, there's a bunch of those style of rods that again, they're just not my style of fishing. That's it. It's not that they're sorry or this or that. Like, you know, I'm not going to lie. If I'm fishing with people, I don't hook up either. So you got to do a single man fishing there, Jazz. Dude, I was known for that. If I hadn't started drinking yet, like we weren't catching, or if we were catching, we weren't catching very big. All right, guys, last call for your shots. I'm gonna give y'all 1 minute to put in your vote to see how many lines I got here. Whoever nails it perfectly will get 4 leaders, 4 4-foot sharks. You pay shipping, or you come pick them up in person. I'll give y'all 1 minute, 1 minute, and then I'm gonna put done, and then I'm gonna count them out. Then we're gonna go back through and see who has the correct number on them. So, had 4 rods out, went to catch croaker, my central bait, and all 4 took all my fish off. Oh yeah. I've had no issue with Mad Cats, good cats with the S6 and the MXL, even with the 12-foot spinning reels. So, every time I left the net myself, we'd get gar, red, the black drum. They were making screaming runs. The next time we had the net ready and all I catch is bait or nothing. There you go. 100 liters and 5. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same way, Sputnik. I can't get more than 100 yards on those rods and stuff like that. Now, again, I was only casting like their 7.5 foot, I think an 8 foot rod, maybe a 9 footer. Um, wasn't getting very far on those. I have also casted the meat hunter rods, um, but I was casting those at Bob Hall or Caldwell Pier, and I've got videos of me doing that, and it was scary. Like I felt like I was gonna blow up those rods. They didn't though, but I just felt like it. So well, Jess, the only thing I can say is if he's serious and he goes out there and don't sit there and say, well, I want to go home already. Like, if he's out there as hard as you are to go fishing, give it some time and you'll break through that barrier. It'll happen. It will. You just gotta break through that barrier and then you'll be okay. As a lot of times, like for me, I couldn't catch a tiger shark, and I went like everybody else was catching them. Everybody else was catching them. I couldn't catch one. Then I finally caught my first one, and 2 weeks later I caught another one. The next week I caught another one, and then months down the line I was catching 3 or 4 a weekend. So you gotta break through it. All right, guys, I'm gonna put time right here. Time. If your number comes after that, it won't count. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 125. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. It's 150. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. 174 liters. Did anybody hit that? Let's see. I'm going to put it in here just so I got to count. 174. Man, it looked a lot less. Metal participation, right? I use C4 dynamite every time That's good. Oh my gosh, yeah, Curtis. Yeah, let's see. Nobody got it? Nobody got it? I was hoping somebody could just say it. Let's see, 675, 650, 100. Nope, I don't think nobody got it. It's deceiving. Like, it didn't look like I did that much work, huh? I see how y'all are. Y'all are thinking like that. God. Yep. That my hands look like this, you know what I mean? So I got it, guys, 174. All right. Let's see. Get a participation medal. All right. All right. Let's see. How about this one? How about this bundle here? Y'all down for another one? I got probably another. I won't be able to do the. Well, I could probably get it all done and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll start putting on the swivels and go from there. So, see, I said it. 180.66. All right. Yeah. Oh man. All right. So I really didn't see too many superstitious things. Sorry, I've been mixing drinks. So I've been busy mixing drinks. Right on. Get it. All right, guys. So we've only got $60 for tonight's fire drawing. So I'm going to roll it over. If it doesn't grow by the time we end the video here, we're already going on 2 hours. Hatchet Man says, my next trip to Corpus is definitely going to stop by the shop. What's the biggest size shirt y'all sell, boss? I'm 6'3". Most shirts are too short. We've got plenty of guys that are in the 6 foot mark. Are you okay? Are you big or are you slim? Like that also, we need to know that information too. So I believe in this. Don't bring bananas on the boat while fishing. Did y'all see that one video where they were using bananas for fishing and they were catching fish? I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but I saw it. I was like, oh, they're really playing on it and stuff like that. Big and tall. Roger that. I'll be honest with you right now. I don't have any of our regular shirts in the bigger sizes. I do have hoodies. And I think we've got 5X in hoodies or 4X in hoodies. They're pretty big. They're pretty big. Yeah. So, yes. So I've gotten my alligator guard. That's where I've gotten my flathead catfish, my blue cat. My biggest on those is 39 inches. And again, you could tell the difference between a saltwater guy and a freshwater guy. And a freshwater guy, you tell them, "Oh, what's your biggest catch?" They'll tell you exactly how many pounds and ounces it was. Whereas us saltwater guys were all about inches. So I don't know. I've noticed that anytime you talk to freshwater guys, it's all about weight, where us saltwater guys are by length. You know what I mean? So, for what is another one? I used to have some rods that and actually, that was happening to me that day when I caught those 3 black drum and the bull red. My red rod was the one pretty much going off. Like I threw it to the right, I threw it to the left. I was hooking up on it, landing fish. Yep. Do I have any purple and green shirts in large? No, I don't. Not right now, boss. I wanted to. My goal is to have all my shirts in pretty soon. But again, too, it's all depending on the sales and stuff like that. Granted, we weren't dead in the water, but we were floating. But now I need to turn that motor on and get going for sure. So yeah, there you go. Same thing. Yeah. It says most freshwater fishermen don't catch long fish. We catch fast fish that are heavy. Yeah. And I've seen some of these catfish that they're pulling in, and man, they're just pigs. These big old fat catfish. I'm like, wow. And I'll tell you what, my 39-inch flathead and even the other ones, man, I tripped me out because I had this little cooler like this, and I put them in there, and they just folded right up into the cooler, and I was just like, can't do that with the saltwater fish. No, sir. They stick straight out like this, and you try to bend them over to get them into that cooler, they won't do it. I don't know why freshwater fish do that, but saltwater fish, I mean, or why saltwater do and freshwater don't. The only ones in saltwater that are that flexible are eels. All of our saltwater fish, they are just boards. They don't curl up for nothing and stuff like that. I don't wonder why that is. That would be something to learn right there if we could figure out why freshwater fish can curl up where saltwater fish don't. And so they don't get that big from not eating a lot of food, right? Yep. Even guards, man, those are, you can curl those up. It's crazy. Yeah, alligator. I've done alligator guards as well. I've done bass fishing. I've caught stripers, largemouth, smallmouth. Um, Granted, I do have to drive a ways to get to freshwater, but I have done freshwater. Yes. What reel would you recommend to target big 5 foot plus tarpon and 48 jetties from a boat? MXL Raptor. MXL Raptor will handle all of that, no worries. That, and it's not too big where you can't cast it, and not too small to where if you hook something bigger than a 5 foot tarpon, it'll have plenty of line that you can be able to hammer it down. You can put 65-pound braid on it or 50-pound braid on it, and 80-pound top shot and get 450 to 500 yards of line on that reel, no worries. So yeah, that's more than enough to fight any of those fish and pull them in. It says, okay, is SX too small? Okay, so I use SX Raptors for when I was doing my slide lining, and I've pulled in a 54-inch kingfish on that, no worries. But again, that's a kingfish, not a tarpon. Tarpon they are in their own level of fight and taking off with line. And if you don't have enough line on that reel, it's going to spool you. It really is. So, no, you can do an SX, but you're going to have to put it with 30-pound braid and max it to be able to fight a big tarpon like that and be able to win the battle. So. Yeah, I could see that. I can understand that. Is shark good to eat? Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I fished with the Truth Reel, uh, but I didn't fish with it after that one day. I tried it out one time at Cole Park Pier, and I didn't like it. And it was just because the way the handle felt, it rubbed me over here in the backside of my hand. And, oh shoot, I think we all are. I'm kind of foaming at the mouth over here, and that's why I'm building all these shark rigs, because I know once that pier is open, our sales for shark leaders, kingfish rigs, slide lines, all of that is going to go through the roof right there. Daniel, you have a good night, boss. And yeah, so we're going to roll this fire drawing over onto Friday. We're at $60 right now, so I'll finish this portion of the casting leaders up and see if anybody got the right number. And then if not, then better luck next time, gents. So. Oh yeah, it'll be so awesome to cast off of that. But again, too, it's gonna be different because now it has that bowed up tip. The curved front or top end of the pier. It's not going to be our normal straight pier that we're normally used to. So that, and then the lights are short. They look like they're shorter, but again, too, it may just be the distance that we are seeing the pier from. Don't know. Yeah, it'll be cool. That's a good way to trap a lot of people that want to go back onto that pier. That's for sure. Now, my question is, are they going to have be enforcing rules and regulations and or any time periods. I didn't see somebody had posted up that they're going to open the pier like that, but they're going to be closing it at night and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've always wondered, would you like to a lot of other tackle shop owners since you own one? Yes. Yeah. Normally when I go to other tackle shops, I'm dealing with the owners themselves. Um, had a pretty good talk with FTU the other day, Mr. Joe Myers, and we're talking about the future of his business and mine and stuff like that. And we're competing, guys. We are definitely competing to get more tackle shops to go our way, and so we can start supplying them with our gear and stuff like that. I know once the pier opens back up and I get back out there and start fishing more and producing, I know it's gonna be a big plus for our shop here because all of our gear was developed on Bob Hall Pier. Like we have fished it, we have tried it, we have tested, we have looked through all the difficulties of making our own tackle and putting it to the use and seeing what works, what didn't work, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Do you know Rick at Sea Pony at Winnie? I want to say I have talked to him, but I don't go out there enough to like know these guys like um, on a first name basis and stuff like that. I probably might remember him if I see him again. Um, Most of the people that I've dealt with in that area have been from. I've gone to Bulldogs a few times. I talked to the gentleman there, but this was probably like 8 to 10 years ago. Was the last time I stopped in that shop right there. Uh, what else? There was a few other piers, but like I said, those or they call them bait camps over there. We call them tackle shops over here. So, and Tiger, where is Tiger? Oh, she's passed out right over here. Hold on, real quick. Oh, I think it just woke her. Okay. Yeah, yeah. She crashed out on my water bottles right there. Yeah. Oh, let's see. I undertook like less, but I thought. Yep. What bait do I recommend for black drum or red drum? Which size of hooks? Well, are you talking about slot drum or oversized drum? Slot drum and reds, shrimp and fish bite mixtures. I've seen where straight fish bites will catch more. I've seen where shrimp will just catch more. I've never seen it where a one bait is always the only one bait to go to. They're just like us. One day you want hamburger, the next day you want hot dog, and the following day you want pizza. Fish are just like us, guys. They have weird eating patterns and stuff like that. And yeah, you can sit there and you can get onto some fish, for the most part using the same bait, which is shrimp. But again, too, I've seen where using fish bites with shrimp, we caught bigger drum. And then I've seen other times where I was using fish bites by itself without shrimp, and I was catching smaller drum. So it really, there's not a one way to fix it all. I've even seen too where they don't even want shrimp; they want nothing but sea lice, or they want pieces of crab. Like I seen drum for the first time a few years ago going for perch. Like you had to use perch to catch the big black drums. It's just crazy. I never thought drum would even eat fish. Like we always used to catch them with just shrimp. You would catch them occasionally on squid, but more times than not, you end up catching stingrays when you use squid. But again, too, that was off of Cole Park Pier rather than over here in the piers that we normally fish. So I change baits throughout the year. I also change the size of baits that I use throughout the year. Um, Normally, when it got really, really cold and stuff like that, they would go into a scavenging mode because there wouldn't be a whole bunch of bait fish available. And you can tell because their stomachs are all sucked in. And at that time, man, I'll use pieces of shrimp, literally, like the size of my nail right there. And I was catching 40-inch drum with those pieces of shrimp like that, or a piece of fish bites on there. I mean, what would use on Bob Hall Pier for perch, that's what I was using for in the bays for bull reds and big black drum during that period. But again, that only happens when it gets really, really cold. This year it didn't get like that. We had a few nights of some cold, but it wasn't enough to like get crazy. So yeah, yep, prime example right there. Yeah, he said soul food, Indian, and then always goes back to Asian. That Asian some good food. I've eaten some Indian food as well. I've tried uh, Greek. I've tried Greek food. Mediterranean food is some good food. I don't know if that falls under a specific title or something like that, but yeah. Uh, Chinese food pretty I like pretty good. Korean as well. Mm. God, talking about all this food is making me hungry. It's already past my time to eat. Like I'm trying to hold myself to not eating after 8 o'clock. I have seen a difference to where my gut ain't. I don't know if y'all can see. Like it used to be like fat. Yeah. Rafael says, "Give me tacos." I thought fish were stupid, and I saw a video where a pike was looking at the bait and just watched. Oh man, we have seen some crazy. Go through my videos, look for the underwater videos, and there's a lot of things. Like I've seen shrimp come up and land on one of my sea lice and try to swim away with my sea lice. A shrimp, yeah. He said, "No, Greek is its own dilemma." I only ate it that one time, and yeah, it was not my cup of tea. But I'll be able to say I tried it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh man, the China buffet is closed. Oh man, no, it don't. Oh, but it's too late. Like I'm not even gonna look. I'm not gonna look. Nope, nope. You trying to sucker me in, bro? Like I see how you are. Or telling you I'm trying to stay off of it, and you're over here already giving me hints of what to look for. No, 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 no. I had a buddy eating my buddy's chicken leg off his crab line. That would have been a cool video right there to show right there. God, that's insane. Because I've always just thought mullet eat mud and seaweed kind of deal, and never seen them mess with any kind of natural bait or anything like that. He said it better not be close. Yep, I see you, Raphael. Uh-huh. Putting tacos, tacos, tacos. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I see how y'all are. I'm almost done, guys. I'm about a little more than halfway. A little more than halfway. Yeah, let's see. All right, if you had one food to eat right now, what would it be? If it could magically appear, what would be your food right now to magically appear in front of you? Ah, Chris. Oh man. Like, God, that's crazy. Where was that happening at Night Hunter? At the mullet we're doing it. Redfish on the half shell or an Axis deer burger. Damn, that sounds good. That sounds real good. Mahi mahi grilled. Mm-mm-mm. That sounds good too. Yep. know, beef and broccoli with a side of crab rank. Ooh, ooh. Man, up in North Carolina, there used to be a Chinese shop that you can order the tray of food, and it was uh, shrimp lo mein. They would fill up the plate, the to-go plate, and this is before they got these skinny to-go plates. And man, it was like $8 or $10 for the whole plate. And man, I used to be able to eat on it like 2 or 3 times. It was so awesome. Albert, what do I cook on the beach? Well, are you talking about during tournament or during just mess around time? During tournament, I normally don't cook unless I am, with my guys and it's during Sharkathon where I can't fish. Because if I'm fishing, I'm not cooking. I'll cook my spaghetti and meatballs, or my spaghetti like that in a can by throwing it in a plastic bag and putting it up on the counter on the dashboard, and they'll cook it up that way. Uh, Pork mullet for my grandma and some rice, homemade corn tortillas. That sounds good too. Yeah. Benny said watermelon. Watermelon. All right. Let's see. Black and prime rib. His birthday dish. Right to that. Uh, the cowboy steak. Yeah, buddy. When are you fishing? When are you just fishing? What do you cook? So, it really all depends. If I'm out there with the family and the kids, we've done burgers, we've done chicken and beef fajitas. Normally, I do stuff that can pretty much be eaten really quick. We've done hamburgers, done hot dogs. I actually did a brisket one time out there. Took my pipe smoker. Uh, well, it was a circular smoker. Let's see. But normally, when I go fishing, I really don't cook, boss. I really don't. I probably don't eat too much while I'm out there fishing, just because I'm just putting in so much work. Now I'll make my what they call a pier sandwich: bread, 2 or 3 slices of meat, another bread, 2 or 3 slices of meat, another bread, and if I have cheese, I'll throw 1 or 2 slices of cheese in there. Um, oh yeah, with some ketchup. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nobody makes. I don't know where Daniel Garcia got his last tamales he brought us. They were phenomenal, phenomenal. They were big ones too. One of the guys here that my brother knows, it's one of our childhood uh, buddies. He actually makes, like, I've seen some pictures of his tamales, and they were big. Um, Let me see if I can get his information, because he was actually going to teach me how to make tamales, and I'll let y'all know. But yeah, from what I understand, my brother said that he was so used to buying tamales from the other place that he bought like 3 dozen. He said he could only eat like 2 or 3 of them, and that he was so full. I was like, wow. Yep, yep. Yeah, fishing on the beach is a lot of work. It really is, and it's not just a lot of work. It's putting up with the surf and the sand, and it's crazy. It's crazy. The one good thing, I mean, you're right there with all your gear, but again, too, you're not trying to break it all out, because once you break it all out and it hits the sand, then you got to go back and clean it all up. So yeah, no, I know where you're at on that. So yep, that'll be the other one. Yep, there's always something that needs to be done. Fishing the beach is hard. Like yeah, it's a different breed of fisherman right there. That's for sure. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, you sleep good after. Yep, that's for sure. So migas would go hard right now. Go. Yeah. My daughter actually cooked. She didn't cook migas, but she did. Uh, oh, what was it? chorizo and egg last night. I was like, man, that smells so good. I was like, I want some, but I have got it. It's torture not holding myself to it, but hey, it's working. It's working. Last little bit of liters right here. I'm almost done. And once I do that, I'm going to give you about a minute. Then I'm going to call time on there and see who nails it. But these are going to be the 5-foot bull red leaders. If you get this one right, it'll be 2 bull red leaders that you'll get. Got to nail it, though. Let's see. Come on, get in there. I'd be happy with carne asada fries with guacamole salsa. Dang. You know what? If I could have some food right here, I'm torn between 2 things. One would be the... Oh, man, actually, I'm sitting here just second guessing myself, man. That shrimp noodles that we used to get from that one Chinese spot that I used to eat during lunch, the one I would normally, y'all would be like, hey, where'd you get that plate from? Well, they closed down, so we haven't been able to get that Chinese food in a while. That would be one. 2 would be a big old bowl of king crab. Oh my gosh. The fire flavor or spice level on it. Yep, it would be fire. Yep. That and if I could have the umaya all you can eat, like my whole meal that I normally go get there, it'd be 60 pieces of tuna sashimi, the lobster shalaka roll, the oyster roll, the pink lady roll, and the what else would it be? The California roll, and there's another one that I like to get. The I forget the other one, but yeah, those would be it. That the shrimp lo mein from the hibachi grill. Ooh, a double order of that. Don't bitch, shut up. Hmm. Why do you miss snow and king crab? Can't eat it no more? What's up? He said bluebell ice cream. Yeah. I ain't had bluebell in about a month. Nope. Probably longer. It's probably been longer than that. Wow. The crunchy roll, yeah, that's a good one from there too. Yep. Sam's hot dogs are good. I heard that their food was pretty good at Sam's. I always look at it. I just never had the opportunity to have the time to sit there and try that. And I'm not really on a diet. I'm just controlling when I eat and when I don't eat. Um, I noticed that when I eat after 8 o'clock, that I tend to get a lot more heartburn. So I'm trying not to eat after 8 o'clock. Um, but no, I ain't really. Well, that and like I'm trying to stay away from a lot of sugary items and stuff like that. So and it's working. Like I just got tired of not being able to put on my shoes or my socks without losing my breath. So and I wouldn't say I'm fasting. No, it's not really fasting, but it is because if you go from 8 to 8, that's 12 hours of not eating. And normally I don't eat till about 11, so it's about 15 hours of not eating. But I'm still eating. Um, I've actually been eating a lot of avocado and boiled eggs, but I like to boil my eggs just enough to where the yolk is still liquidy. Oh, it's so good. I love the egg yolk. I actually when I cook eggs at the house, I'll pull out the egg yolk off the eggs that I'm gonna cook for myself, and if I scramble them up, that's fine. But then I'll pop the egg yolks on top, add some ketchup to it. Ooh, man. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, intermittent fasting, I would say yes. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and actually that's what I've been doing too. Like I've been doing like chair exercises. I bought me a little yoga mat, so when I sit on my chair, I'm doing foot pedals and leg lifts, flutter kicks. I've been doing that. I've been doing a lot more squats. Like I said, a lot of it's calisthenics just to get the blood moving, the juices going, and stuff like that. So that way, when I get back into kayaking, I'm not going to be hurting like I. But it also too, it's because I haven't been fishing as much as I normally do, and now that I'm going fishing again, I don't want to be hurting. I noticed the other day that I went when I pre-fished before the veterans fishing trip. I left that in there intentionally on that video, guys, where I was casting and casting and casting and cast. Like I don't know how many times I cast it out that day, but I did not delete off a single cast. Like I left it in there, and I did that because um, guys asked, "Well, like how many times do you cast in a trip?" I said, "Dude, I cast. Like I'm not lazy. Now if the fishing is to where like we notice that there's nothing biting, like you can throw out a shrimp and 4 hours later the shrimp is still on there." Then I'm not checking my rods. But if they're moving and they're eating my bait, then I'm casting. Like I'm putting bait out there. So yeah, yeah. I got the heaviest I was. I got up to 265. I haven't weighed myself in a while, but yeah. Mhm. Starting cutting soda at all times. Well, I don't drink a whole lot of sodas. I really don't. My drinks are like the body armors, Gatorades, Powerades, mainly water. Like I probably drank I don't know 6 water bottles today. But what I started doing too was adding a little bit of lemon juice to my water bottles. So that's been helping as well. Um, yeah, I'm just playing with my grandson and trying to bend over to pick him up, and yeah, losing my breath is not cool. I did not like that at all. So I'm 6 foot. I am 6 foot. Dang, 3 or 4 sodas a day? Nope, not me. Now, don't get me wrong. I think 3 days ago I bought myself a Mountain Dew. I think I still have a little bit left over. I'll take a drink, maybe one here, one there, not sit there and just sit there and drink it and drink it. So, yeah. So, you can eat pizza, just don't. Have you ever seen where they do the keto, where you just eat all the toppings, the pasta, the cheese, the ingredients, and all of that? You just don't eat the bread, and it's pretty delicious. I mean, because I love eating just the toppings. I love it, but I also do the works where it has everything on it. Um, I'm not too much when it has the onions. I'll tell them to normally take that off. But yeah, onion, bell peppers, black olives, ham, bacon, cheese. Uh, let's see, sausage. I'll do all the toppings, but I don't. Normally tell them to leave the onions out and stuff like that. But I won't pick them off. I mean, if they're on there, I'll eat them. But it's not like I order pizza. I don't do that. Five does keto. They have keto bread and pizza dough. Yeah, yeah. We've actually used where we did the. Uh, it's a vegetable. And you have this device, and it makes noodles out of the vegetable, and you use that instead of pasta, and it's for keto like that and stuff like that. But I also heard doing keto is bad because it reprograms your brain in a certain way that it actually can be unhealthy for you. And so that's why I stopped doing the keto and stuff like that. Because as soon as you get off of it, you blow right up. Like you put all the weight back on. And it was to the point that like if I even looked at a loaf of bread, I'd gain 5 pounds. Shoot, that's brave, Jazz. Well, once you start like getting it, you're gonna have to do some like core workouts to build yourself up. You know what I mean? Because if you've already been doing that like that, and then you go this long without some kind of workouts and stuff like that, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Ricky Marks in the house. What's up, boss? How you doing? So I'm the same way. I love pasta. I love noodles and stuff like that. But that that vegetable, I forget what it is. It's really good. It actually is. I was thoroughly impressed with it. But if you overcook it, it gets mushy, kind of like pasta. You overcook it, it gets mushy. But no, it was really good. It what is it? Forget that damn vegetable. It's not squash. It's God, I forget the dang name. But it's not squash. It's something. It's similar to squash. It's man, I'm brain dead now. So yeah. So what you up to, Ricky? Zucchini. Yes, zucchini. That's it. Yes. Cauliflower. We've used that and made uh what was it that we did with the cauliflower? It was supposed to imitate rice or something like that. Yeah. Artichoke. No, no. X on the artichoke. Nope, I can't do it. I can't do it. So shit, you just got off of work. I'm about to get off of work here in a few minutes, but I've got a little deal going. I told them if they could guess the exact amount of liters over here, they would win 2 of the bull red leaders. Tried the 4-foot shark leaders a little while ago. Everybody got thrown off, so I'm almost done. Cauliflower rice, yes. Yes, sir. Right there, yep. You like zucchini in the sushi? There you go. Nice. Yeah. So Ricky, you gonna be down for that week that Bob Hall Pier opens up to go slide lining, or what? What's up, man? Go old school on that one, man. Sheesh, yep. It always puts me off eating a type of raw meat or fish. Oh man, I'm sorry. I can only eat my steak blue, and I don't like it when it is that what is it, cold dried or whatever. Like no, it's got to be bloody, like bloody mooing when I'm cutting into it. There's a big difference. Yeah, right on. Yep. Now sushi, sashimi, tuna fish. Oh, I think the most pieces I ate in one sitting was several years ago. I did 120 pieces of tuna sashimi and still ate like 6 rolls, like egg rolls or not egg rolls, but types of tuna rolls and stuff like that at the Umaya. Yep. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna crimp these up. Last chance to get in it. I'm gonna show y'all one more time what it looks like before I crimp it. And these are the sections for my bull red leaders. This is the top section above the weight. Show y'all one more time. Y'all ready? All right. That's what it looks like right there. I got to nail the number and get it. See, that's the way I used to think. When I was growing up, I only ate steak well done because I couldn't. I was like, why are you gonna eat it? It's bloody. It's not even fully cooked. And so I was like that my whole life. But every time I ate one of those well done steaks, I would always have this leftover piece of meat that I couldn't swallow. Like it wouldn't go down. Like, and if I sat there and swallowed it, it was just like a dried up ball of. I wouldn't eat it. I was always spitting up half the steak. Like I wouldn't eat it all. And so when I was in the Marine Corps, my brother Donkey, uh, he told me, he goes, "Hey man," he's like, "I'll buy you a steak." He's like, "But you got to eat it the way that I tell you to eat it." And I was like, and I was hungry at the time. I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I don't care. You're paying for my dinner, like, and it's steak. Like, let's do it. So he ordered it, and he ordered it rare. It wasn't blue. It was rare. And he brought it over. It's like, I was kind of worried. He's like, dude, just try it, bro. He's like, I even pay for all your beer tonight. He's like, you finish that steak, I'll pay for your beer that night. So I said, all right. So I cut me a piece and I put it in my mouth and started chewing, and it all disappeared. I was like, I started eating, and yep. And this was back in 1999, maybe 2000, right up about that time. So I finally understood what it is to eat a steak. It is amazing when it is not, I wouldn't say well done, when it is overly cooked and burnt. You have done lost all the flavor, all the nutrients, and it's amazing. So yeah. Yeah, no. And it's crazy because when I tell them blue, they're like, excuse me? Like a lot of these shops don't know what blue is. But if they do it, then I'll ask for it. That's for sure. So, yeah, that's what it basically boils down to, beef jerky, man. It really is. I won't do it. Won't do it no more. Even my grandson, my daughters, like they eat steak like, mom and everybody tries to feed him the well done, and he eat, spit it out. And you want somebody? Yeah, he eats it and eats it and eats it. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's. But I'm also too the type of person that and this is me, I don't like steak with a whole lot of fat. Like I don't like, and they say, well, that's where all the flavors at. I get it. I understand. I don't like it when it has so much fat, like the wagyu and all of that. Like I see it and I'm like, dude, it's all fat. Like there's no like real sustenance to it. Like I see it and I'm like, nah. People try to buy it for me. I was like, you know what? I may try a piece, but nah. I'm good like that. So yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No, you can yep, sorry, Cal. Yeah, no, and you know what though? Night Hunter, you gotta think of it like this too. Different fish have different textures. Like my kids love salmon. I've tried the salmon sashimi. I don't like it. But tuna sashimi, I'm all about it. There's also another tuna, a white tuna sashimi, and it's okay, but I prefer the tuna sashimi, regular tuna sashimi, not the white tuna. So yeah, no, I'm the same way, Jazz. Like I don't like it. Yep. So well, there's half and half right there. I think about no, little off, but I'm almost there. Uh, what's everyone's favorite inshore saltwater fish? Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. Now I've done some reverse searing of my steaks. I did reverse sear on my tomahawks. Oh my gosh, that was mm, 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 mm. Well, mahi mahi ain't an inshore fish, Jazz. Sorry, you got to pick another. So I'm stuck between flounder and redfish for my inshore fish. Yep. You want to try mahi mahi sashimi or like fried up? You know, and y'all gonna think I'm weird. Y'all gonna think I'm really, really weird after I say this, but I'm gonna say it. I don't like speckled trout. Like I'll trade it up. I'll trade it for a black drum any day. It just tastes so oily. It tastes real oily to me. I don't know why. It does. That's just me. That's just me. Like I said, my buddies love it when I go fishing with them because when I'm and it's crazy because they're going for trout and I'm going for reds. They'll catch all the reds and I'll catch all the trout. He's only had red snapper and tuna. Okay. Now I'll tell you what. One offshore fish for me that's been well, not even it wasn't even offshore. Okay, no, let me take mine back. If I can get uh the lionfish, is that the right one that I'm thinking? Hold on, let me make sure because I'm tired. I'm tired. Let's see. Yes, that fish right there is amazing. Ama- Hands down, if I could catch those, like they're so freaking amazingly good. It didn't even put it this way. I cooked up that last lionfish that we got, and I put it off to the side so it could start, draining the oil and stuff like that while it was still on my disco, and it didn't even make it to the plate. I ate the whole fish while I was sitting there waiting for the oil to drain out of it. Yeah, that one is amazing. That one is amazing. So, uh, yeah, no, it's an invasive species. Yep, for our area, and it's the spines that are poisonous. So normally you just take a pair of scissors, cut those off before you start filleting, and you're good to go. You are good to go. So, um, yeah, no trout. Like I said, I've had trout probably about 50 times, and nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll give those away in a heartbeat. I'll take redfish or even black drum over it. Now, if we did offshore, like deep offshore fish, obviously tuna. I mean, I'll shoot if it pulls in right there. I'll eat slices off that fish right there until I get full. But if it was cooked, I would go with tilefish. Tilefish is really good. Yep, golden tilefish. And Ricky, as soon as I said it, I looked up and I saw Ricky's comment that it said golden tile. Yep, that one was really good. But they also say too that one you can't eat too much of it. So okay, so I have caught yellowfin tuna. I have not caught a bluefin yet. I've caught yellowfin, but not uh, the bluefin. Actually, I caught my first tuna this past year, yellowfin, and or shoot, even blackfin. Both. I caught. That was my first time actually like catching those. I've caught bonita offshore, but this was the first time I was targeting black and yellowfin, and I probably caught 20 or 30 blackfin, and I think I was at like 11 or 12 of the yellowfin tuna. The video's there. It's got it on there, and I caught the biggest one on the boat, which is a 98 pounder. So brought it in probably a minute and so. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was actually invited offshore on that trip. There's on $1,000 spot, and yeah, obviously I don't have that kind of money. Um, but yeah, we went out there. I spent about 300 in lures, and I didn't even use them all, but I did learn a lot while I was out there on how to fish for tuna. There was several different ways to fish for tuna, uh, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, golden tilefish is pretty good. It is really good. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna put time on here, and we're gonna count these up and see who got it. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Ready? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 109. Who got 109? Let's see. Yeah. Grouper's pretty good. Grouper's pretty good. Yeah, I can rock that one. See, 109. Let's see. Send that one in. Real Loco's in the house. What's up? Nobody got it? Let's see. Let's see. 177, 63, 185, 780. No, I don't see it. Yep. Yeah, that was close. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't see nobody with it. Right? What you up to, boss? I was actually literally just finishing up here, but I freaking put swivels and crimp this stack earlier, and then I just did this one right now. Oop, right there, and I think I'm done for the night. Because if I start putting on the cable section, which I already did, oh, that's what I did earlier today, guys. So let me show you all that real quick. Yeah, yeah, I put all these hooks on there. That section, this section, that section, and that section. All right, so I'll do this one for y'all. A complimentary one, or not complimentary, but a third chance. We'll do a third chance. I'll give 5 of the 4-foot shark leaders if you can guess the exact number of how many of these rigs I got there. We will count this up tomorrow, which means I'm gonna have to go live. So we will do it for tomorrow, but I'm giving you a view of what it looks like. So stay tuned for tomorrow's live. And we're gonna do 5 liters. If you get the right number on it, we'll get it. Oh man, hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I found some on the floor. It slipped out of my hand. Hold on. So we might actually still have a winner. Hold on. So that's the long one. This is the short. So we add 3 to the long. That would take it up to 112. And add 2 to the short, which would make it 176. Right? Or 146. Well, what number did I put in there earlier? I don't even see my comments. Did anybody get them? I mean, let's see. Let's see if we can find that real quick. If y'all can find it real quick, that way I can go back and verify real quick. Because that was, I found them on the floor. They're part of the count, so. So we had three to this one. And let's see. No one was within 10. Okay. Well, we tried. I tried to be fair. I tried to be fair. So, all right, stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to do that one. And that has to hook up with that. Even though I'm pretty sure I have more of the cable sections than I do the mono sections, I'm going to count those up by themselves after I build all of this. And so 110. So yeah, well, that still puts it at 112. So I said you had to hit the number exact. But all right, guys, man, did Capt.Eric already blaze off? All right. 174, so there would have been 176 because I added 2. And yeah, the other one would have been 112. So yeah. Well, guys, don't put your number in today. It'll be for tomorrow. Just kind of giving you a heads up. I'm going to do that giveaway tomorrow. So y'all think on it. We'll see what's up. Y'all have a good night. Y'all stay blessed, and definitely got prayers going out for everybody that may be needing some tonight and or for the next several weeks. We got you. Y'all stay blessed, my friends. Laters.